Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Well, today's movie is a movie I wish I had enjoyed more, and it is called M. Night Shymalan Knock at the Cabin, when two fathers take their daughter for a weekend away. They are visited by three intruders who warn them that the very planet will is in danger if they do not sacrifice a member of their family. What I li- what I liked about this movie is you could never really tell if they were telling the truth. They speak in cryptic messages, they tie up the family, but every hour something goes wrong. And I do like that setup. What I don't like is everything in between though, because nothing happens. It's literally them sitting in a cabin and staring at each other uncomfortably. Um, uh, and I just didn't like how this movie's tension would just linger and linger and linger, but for the longest time, you weren't sure if there was going to be any payoff. One interesting scene that really just illustrates that is um is when one of the captors turns on the TV and you see a horrible earthquake, but one of the men who's tied up remembers listening to the radio on the way up, and they knew that earthquake was scheduled. So reasonable doubt starts to creep in. And what really gets scary is every hour the couple does not comply with their abductors, the abductors will commit suicide. It's very scary and very hard to watch. And the main abductor says, if we get to the end of the day and we are all dead and you have not sacrificed a member of your family, the very world could be torn apart. Although I do think the couple makes the right decision at the end, I'm not going to tell you what they do. I think it takes them way too long to get there. I think one of the main characters is very selfish, and I get the sense that she's trying to convince him that it's not happening, and not his family, and not his abductors. His partner sees a figure that he thinks is Jesus out the window, telling them to do something. But the main character says, you have to remember, the abductors hit you so hard over the head, you've already thrown up, you probably have a concussion, and that's why you think you saw Jesus out the window. What I like is that everything in this movie can be explained with science or faith, depending on which one you choose to believe. I just don't like how they chose to do it. I don't like how drawn out it was. I don't like the main father character. I don't like how they take so long to be convinced. I think the fight scenes between the father and one are the weak. And I'm going to give Knock at the Cabin a C+. Now, before I go, I want to just talk to you for a few minutes about my relationship with M. Night Shyamalan films. I don't think M. Night Shyamalan has ever made a good movie in his life. He's made great ones and he's made just bad ones like this one that were really disappointing. My favorite run of Shyamalan films was the Eastrail trilogy. I like Unbreakable, I love Split, and I rewatched Glass last night. And even though it has several problems and it's the worst of that trilogy, I still enjoy it. And I may review those later. I have some other films coming to the channel very soon. But M. Night Shyamalan has self-financed a lot of his own films. He mortgaged his house to pay for The Visit. And although I don't like that movie, I respect the fact that he would have been homeless if it hadn't worked out. It did. He was able to keep his house and keep making movies. The next few movies he made after The Visit, Split, I really enjoyed. Glass I liked it. It's not his best, but I liked it. I did not like Old, and I did not like this. I am very curious to see what he will do in the future because he's doing things that no one else is doing. I also think it's cool that he cameos in literally every movie that he's in, but he never tells you what he's going to be. So you kind of have to find him in the movie. So I would say that M. Night Shyamalan might be the most interesting man working in Hollywood today. And that's why I'm always going to get excited for an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Even if it's like this one, I want to make it clear, this movie is probably not the worst movie I'll see in theaters this year. I just didn't like it. But I will say it did accomplish a feeling of dread and anxiety. But sometimes I don't like feeling dread and anxiety. So, to close this review out on a positive, I'm going to say I cannot wait to see what M. Night Shyamalan has next. And I will be there opening weekend. My name is Josh Buck, and until next time, bye-bye.